Welcome to Divine Love Talk with Dr. Parthenia Grant, where we talk about health, well-being, and the love of the divine that exists in all of us. Now, here's your host, Dr. Parthenia Grant.
All right. I am so excited to be back here this week with Janet Alston Jackson, who is sitting in with me today, kind of serving as my co-host today. Kim Michaels, we do have him coming on later in the show with his message from the Ascended Masters, but I'm also very, very excited to have Dennis Watts, who is calling in. Dennis, are you on the line? Hello?
How are you today?
Oh, there he is. All right. I'm so excited to have Dennis on the line. And Dennis is a world-renowned, international researcher, scientist, quantum physicist, on so many topics that are related to health and wellness and peace of mind. And Dennis is going to be doing a workshop this weekend to help all of us figure out how we can have more vitality and energy. So many of us suffer from chronic fatigue. Yes. How we can get restorative sleep. You know, you might get sleep, like a lot of depressed people sleep all the time and they say, oh, I have no problem with sleep, but it's not restorative sleep. And of course, 70% of us have weight issues, like serious weight issues. Yeah, from just, that nagging 20 pounds to, the 100 pounds to the 200 pounds. I mean, America is an obese nation. So, Dennis, we're so excited that you could join us today and give us some pointers on what we can do about these things, and to invite people to come out this weekend and listen to the whole 4-hour presentation that will, I can guarantee you, change your life. I went to a presentation that he did, and I was so blown away. I was like, okay, I got to have this man in my life. So, Dennis, I'm so excited.
I like
that. Yes, you're an important person, not just in my life, but for the world. Exactly. And I got Janet all excited about you, so she's definitely going to be coming out.
Absolutely. When she told me about it, I said, when, where, okay, I'll be the first one there.
Yeah, because she was looking at me when I was telling her about you, and I said, yeah, and I went to this Candida presentation, and I've been researching Candida for 20 years, and he had that other piece of the puzzle that I was looking for, and her eyes just like popped up, and she went, Candida. Yes. Oh my goodness, I've been suffering with this. So yes, we're so excited. Now, before we get started, Dennis, Eric, did we have Jose? Did Jose call in? Jose Munoz? Is he on the line? Okay, all right. So, Dennis, it's you, me, and Janet.
Yes. Okay, very good.
Okay, so Dennis, give us just a few little tidbits on, let's start out with energy, because I don't care what your age is. Like, I see so many young people that walk around lethargic. Janet, I mean, do you notice that?
Oh, absolutely.
Just
everybody's
tired.
So stressed out and tired and overblown.
Yeah, I mean, just like their adrenals are shot. Yeah. So what would you offer the audience right now in terms of what is the problem? What's behind all of this?
Well, I can tell you it is a complex issue, because there's so many different toxins in our environment.
Yes, the water, the air, the food.
Yes, and that is one of the things that drain you. And if you have no knowledge of what's going into your body, it can have all kinds of effects. And one of the main ones, of course, is whenever your metabolism is shifted from optimum, you're going to experience fatigue. Bottom line.
Well, I would venture to say that in America, we'd be hard-pressed to find anybody that we could say is operating at optimum level, because even if you're doing, all of the smart things, when you're constantly being pelted with chemtrails, like in California, where the air is being sprayed like every day with poisons.
Right,
and
absolutely,
you're breathing
and that's what I'm talking about. We've got to become aware. Like, for instance, let's take chemtrails, for instance. You have these nanoparticles floating down. They're invisible. You inhale them into your system.
Boron.
And what happens after that is you might end up with one of those little tiny nanobots rolling around in your system, pushing and producing these things called Morgellons, and that can rob you of your energy.
Definitely.
And what we need to do is just understand some of that's happening, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, what are some of the strategies we can do to prevent this stuff from really taking over?
And there are strategies.
Very complex.
Yes.
That is the question.
Okay.
Most people don't have an idea that this is even happening. So number one challenge is to bring up awareness.
Yes, so information and education, which that's, my forte as an educator is and as a writer. And Janet, I know for you it's all about education and awareness.
Yes.
And Janet, as a parent, was talking about, before we went on air, how important it is in terms of parenting to parent ourselves and take care of ourselves, because if we're too tired,
the kids
it is very hard to be of service to anybody else if you're not on top of your own game.
And I was talking to Dr. Grant, too, about when I was younger, I was a vegetarian, but then having kids, it was a whole different thing because they wouldn't eat the things that I was trying to get them to eat, and I just gave in because I was tired of doing 2 meals.
Yeah, and plus the peer pressure and at school, the lunch program.
Yeah.
I mean, my daughter never forgave me for, well, listen to this. Okay, look, she had lupus at 10 years old, right? And I saved her life with juicing and literally putting her on an organic, like juicing diet, and got her well. And by the time, and she wasn't even able to go to school. She was so sick. And by the time I was able to get her to walk and go back to school, she was on a very, very restricted diet. And she was so angry that I was not packing Lunchables, with the processed lunch meat and all the junk food. When she finally moved out, she went buck wild eating every kind of junk food that was humanly possible, because she said I deprived her of a normal childhood with all the junk food because all the other kids were eating it.
Therapy, Mom. We put them all in therapy.
Right. And so she showed me, went and gained 100 pounds.
Oh, gosh.
So, Dennis, parents are very, very much at a disadvantage when it comes to getting their kids to eat healthy.
And that's why it's so that they show up, because I do have some very important information to share with that regard, because the whole thing is just about having the proper information so you can make quality decisions. And if you have no knowledge or don't even know to even ask a question, it's going to be difficult. I mean, take for instance, a lot of kids are eating Burger King and Wendy's and Arby's and Jack in the Box and Chick-fil-A.
McDonald's.
And all that stuff. And as a result, there is something in their bread called azodicarbonamide.
Which is a plastic.
Highly destructive to metabolism.
Does that make you want to eat more? Is it like sugar type of thing? Because I always think they have sugar.
Makes the bread really pretty and spongy and things of that sort, but at the same time, it's destroying your metabolism.
Yeah.
And most people are under the impression that calories in, calories out is the reason people get fat, but that is so far from the truth. That is a gigantic myth.
Well,
the main challenge is we have a dysfunctional metabolism. And what causes dysfunctional metabolisms is what we need to understand so that we can make decisions that enhance the function of our metabolism. And therefore, you don't have to count calories. You can just go and enjoy life, eat what you want, really, but understand that, let's say if you choose to eat junk food, your body will have the intelligence to deal with it. But if you're doing 80% junk food and maybe 20% good quality food, you're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
But if you can do 80% good quality food and maybe 20% junk, your body will have a sufficient intelligence to deal with it. And you can stay and have a healthy metabolism for all intent and purpose if you could maintain that ratio. Now, just knowing that, one thing, but what are those things in our environment, in our food supply, that are damaging to the metabolism. And I just gave you one. The other one, of course, is diet sodas.
Oh, yeah. The aspartame in them.
Absolutely. That is an intense neurotoxin that is highly destructive to our metabolism. And you're up here thinking, oh, I'm just getting 1 calorie because we've been taught and thinking that calories in, calories out is what makes us gain or not gain weight or lose our muscle tone or not. And that's not the way, that's not the truth of how our body operates and functions. So we need to understand that these chemicals are very, very damaging to metabolism. And another one, of course, is once we have too much sugar in our diet, we have too much of these things where we cannot maintain a balance of good, friendly flora in our upper and lower GI, as opposed to bad or incompatible microbes that might enter our system. That can create what is called a dysbiosis. Dysbiosis, meaning you have more bad bacteria than you do good bacteria. That is whenever you can get a candida overgrowth.
And boy, is that the silent killer in America. And
most people don't even realize that most of our obesity challenges is because of that very thing. Our gut yeast is out of control.
And you know, you can look at the gut of most Americans. Even people that are skinny, you know, have these bloated guts. And after they eat, their stomach bloats.
Absolutely. And so some practitioners and scientists have also identified that this is one of the top reasons for a lot of the obesity/morbid obesity. I mean, it's sad whenever obesity doesn't describe it, and we got to go to a whole other level, morbid obesity. That just blows me away, but that's the reality that we're in.
Wouldn't Candida lead to other diseases as well?
Oh, absolutely. Candida, you know, I think, Dennis, we can safely say that Candida literally is sort of the mother or the foundation for most of the major diseases that we're suffering from today, because that overgrowth is what leads to diabetes and cancer and lupus. I know for sure that it's connected to lupus, which I've struggled with for so long. So would you comment on that, Dennis?
Yeah, well, I mean, let's talk about lupus just for a moment. I mean, I looked into it because my granddaughter at age 13 was experiencing it, and I was devastated.
Of course. And my daughter had it
because
at
the doctors were going to be using chemotherapy on a 13-year-old.
And
God, that just blew me away because I know how dangerous that stuff is. And I'm saying, will she be able to have kids when she finish growing up?
Right.
And that was my concern. But the main thing I've learned is that we have to look at what's happening to our kidneys and adrenal glands.
Exactly.
We have to look at how are they functioning, because the kidneys regulate how the quality of blood flowing through your system.
Wow.
And it regulates the pH of the blood flowing through your system. And if the blood pH is off and your body becomes more acidic than alkaline, because you need to have a pH of around 7.3 to 7.4 in order to basically make yourself immune to any kind of disease, which includes lupus.
Yeah.
That is one of the main things that we want to do. And we have to look at kidney function and look at those little tiny hats on the back of it. They call them adrenal glands. Look at what's going on there, because if your adrenal glands are not working and you are putting out an imbalance of...
Dennis, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I need you to hold that. That's very important. We're going to commercial break, and then we're going to have a little spot with Kim Michaels, and we're going to come back with you after commercial break. You're listening to the Dennis Watts on Divine Love Talk, and Janet Alston Jackson is sitting in studio today. I am your host, Dr. Parthenia Grant. We'll be back with more amazing information after commercial break.
CRN travelers, relax at the beautiful Fountain Grove Inn and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Come to quality and come to luxury. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms. They're generously sized and they're decorated in the Tuscan tradition. They have great, incredible pillow-top mattresses, luxurious linens, and down-filled comforters. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi and internet access. There's warm cookies and coffee every evening in the hotel lobby, and you can visit the newly remodeled Equus Restaurant and Equus Lounge with its new wine bar. It's the ideal place to relax and enjoy a glass of wine, and watch our What's Cooking on Wine show on CRN with host Larry Van Alst on Wednesdays. It's the Fountain Grove Inn, Hotel, and Conference Center located in the heart of Sonoma wine country. It's easily located in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingroveinn.com.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. Really? They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
If you're struggling to find reliable senior living information for your mom or dad, then call or go online to get the free help you need during this turbulent time. Call now, 800-471-5173, 800-471-5173.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1,800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808.
Segment, Kim Michaels is going to have our weekly message from the Ascended Masters, and then we're coming right back with Dennis Watts to continue that wonderful conversation that we were having about how we can increase our energy, lose weight, and get better sleep. So, Dennis, hang in there. And do we have everything queued up? We're still hearing the music. Okay, great.
Yes.
All right, Kim Michaels. Are you ready? Okay, we've got a new...
I am the Ascended Master, Mother Mary.
All right.
I know that the discourse I gave last week could be upsetting to some people and might seem to challenge one of the cornerstones of the Christian religion, and for that matter, many religions on earth. Is it not so that most of the religions that you know today are based on a certain scripture, and that those who adhere to that religion have a tendency to believe, almost blindly, that this scripture is somehow infallible, that it could not be wrong, and therefore should not be questioned, even in the face of the incredible expansion of human knowledge that has come about in the modern age? When I said that it is an outright lie that women are responsible for the fall of man, it would seem that I challenged the authority of the Christian scriptures, at least the Old Testament. Well, my beloved, I am indeed challenging the authority of the Old Testament. It is not the Word of God in an infallible form. It is a document that has been created over a very long period of time, and it is very strongly influenced by the culture and the mindset of the people for whom this document was aimed. You need to recognize, as I said in my last discourse, that there is a force on earth that seeks to control human beings. One of the ways they seek to control is through deception, and one of the most powerful forms of deception found on this planet is to create some kind of document, statement, doctrine, or even scientific theory or political ideology, and then they make people believe that it must never be questioned. Just look at how many examples you find in the world today. You may see religious scriptures, but look at science and political ideologies that have also made even modern people fanatically believe that they must never question certain ideas. I am not hereby saying that the Old Testament is wrong and therefore science and Darwin are right. Darwin needs to be questioned as much as the Old Testament. But let us stay with the Old Testament. The Old Testament was given to people a very long time ago. People who were in a state of consciousness and had a worldview that was very, very different from what you have today. In fact, it was so different that you can barely imagine the mindset people had when Genesis was brought into the physical octave. Now, there are scholars who have seen that there are actually two creation stories in Genesis. This is true. One has a higher degree of truth and accuracy than the other because the other was deliberately inserted by beings who attempted to manipulate people in various ways. This is the one that contains the idea that from dust you have come, and to dust you shall return. But you were not created out of the dust of the earth. You were created as a spiritual being in a higher world, a higher realm. You descended and took on a physical body. The physical body was created out of the dust of the earth. But your spirit was not. The forces who want you to believe that you came from dust want you to believe this because they want you to deny that you are a spiritual being and that you have the potential to manifest a higher state of consciousness, namely the very state of consciousness that you have seen demonstrated by Jesus, the Buddha, and other spiritual leaders and examples. This is their aim, to make you deny not only who you are, but who you have the potential to become. Do not follow these false teachers.
All right. Thank you so much, Kim Michaels. That's amazing. We'll be back with Dennis Watts after commercial break and Janet Austin Jackson.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's drsheps.com, 310-873-4422.
Are you nearing eligibility for Medicare benefits? Then you know now is an important time in your life. Medicare benefits can be a complicated puzzle. You don't want to overpay for your Medicare coverage or get the wrong plan. Let Health Markets Insurance Agency help you. With one free phone call, a licensed insurance agent will help you select a Medicare plan that's right for you and your budget. If you're becoming eligible for Medicare, call today and learn how to get the most out of your benefits.
800-793-1960. 800-793-1960.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is the DBA or assumed name of InSphere Insurance Solutions, Inc., which is an authorized insurance agency in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. Not all agents are licensed to sell all products. Service and product availability varies by state.
Call 800-793-1960. 800-793-1960. 800-793-1960. 800-793-1960.
Do you have really pure water? Maybe not if you're drinking bottled water. Bottled water has some dirty little secrets. Plastic bottles come from oil products. The 5-gallon polycarbonate jugs contain bisphenol A, a synthetic estrogen that has raised health concerns. Bottled water dispensers quickly develop algae and bacteria and should be sanitized regularly. Have you ever cleaned your water dispenser? Are you drinking water containing algae and bacteria and synthetic estrogen? Now the good news. Pure Water Science can replace that dirty, outdated bottled water cooler with a high-tech water purification system. The Pure Water Science System features a stainless steel tank that constantly monitors water quality to guarantee your water is pure. It alerts you when service or filter changes are needed. Multi-stage purification removes organic and inorganic contaminants, and the patented self-sanitizing feature eliminates algae and bacteria while adding oxygen to your water. It costs less than bottled water without the bottled water hassle. No more bottles to lift. Just sanitized delicious water, hot or cold, from Pure Water Science. Call 818-502-4191. 818-502-4191.
Andro 400, I really love it. I've lost 50 pounds. I was a size 38 waist. I've gone down to a 32 waist. My mood has changed. I don't get stressed out. It gave me so much more energy. It feels like I'm 25. I'm so happy. I'm just a completely different man.
Guys, if you'd like to see results like Dave Ryan's, try Andro 400, the safe, inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Hi, this is Fred Dreyer. Join me and Michael Horn on the PM show Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, here on CRN Digital Talk. We talk about things in the sports world nobody else does. So listen in to me and Mike at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on CRN Digital Talk. And go to crntalk.com for more information on other show times. And don't forget to take us with you by downloading the CRN app on the App Store.
Okay, thank you. All right, do we still have Dennis on the line?
Dennis is still here on the line.
Okay, and we can still hear the music. All right, thank you. All right, Dennis, I'm so sorry that I had to cut you off right when you were in the middle of the information on the adrenal glands. I know how important they are, and for someone like me with lupus, which attacked my kidneys, and I had problems with bladder and urinary tract infections because of the lupus, I'm all ears. I want to hear what you got to say.
Yeah, well, what I was saying in essence is that the health of the kidneys is so vital to maintaining the fluids in our body, in particular the blood, and maintaining the proper pH and maintaining mineral balance. I mean, that's what the kidneys do.
Okay.
If they get out of balance, and the adrenals are also very, very important for various hormones that are injected into the blood for controlling very important mechanisms throughout the body. And one of those hormones, I know they call this the stress hormone called cortisol.
Yeah.
And they sometimes look at that as a bad hormone, but really it's not a bad hormone. It also regulates your immune function. If cortisol gets out of balance and your immune function gets turned upside down and your immune system loses its intelligence and it can't tell the difference between self and non-self, because the destruction of tissues and the rashes and the inflammations and all the other, things that are...
You experience with lupus. Yeah, all the symptoms of lupus.
Right. So what we have to do is to understand how to restore the function of our kidneys and restore the function of the adrenal glands in order to support the healing process and to hopefully eliminate this challenge with lupus. But when that happens, that's going to, we've got to come up with strategies that will allow the kidneys to function in their optimum mode. And that is, we've got to identify all these chemicals that are in our environment, because that's one of the things that throws everything off. It's like your body is a highly, highly mathematically precise, light, compressed light being. That's what you are.
Yes.
I mean, the way your DNA basically works, as far as I understand in my research, is from a quantum standpoint, you have these little tiny antennae on the end of every DNA molecule in your body. Every chromosome has something called a telomere.
Yeah.
And that telomere is basically an antenna for the light of creation itself. And when it's nice and long and healthy, it will attract and draw in the light of creation. Your DNA is designed in a manner to take that light and compress it infinitely without interference. And that is what allows, it runs along the instructions that are stored in our DNA that gives us our shape, our size, our color, and all those other beautiful things. And then as a result, we get a physical unit. But all it is compressed light. What happens is, if we throw things from the environment into this mathematically precise process, it upsets the formation of you.
Yes.
And what we want to do is to learn how to look at things from a quantum standpoint and be able to extract all of the information that don't support your highest good.
Right.
That would be all these chemicals that we get contaminated with, all the emotional traumas we get contaminated with by the stress of life itself.
Yeah.
All of those contribute to dis-ease functioning in our body. And so we need to be aware of that and be able to neutralize or remediate that out of our system. And a lot of times, just by having that little piece of knowledge I just gave you, you can intend normality in your system. You can call out those aberrant, let's say, energy information forms coming from outside in and restore balance. I'm sure you've heard of prayer and prayer being able to heal people.
Oh, goodness.
That's what you're basically doing.
Yeah.
And the way the universe works, as I understand it, is that our intent causes energy to move in that form and function. And so our intentions are very, very potent to how we create our body, mind, and spirit moment to moment. And if we are under a constant stress or under a constant trauma, that is going to impact our health. And that is why I look at things like cancer, lupus, and other degenerative disease processes as emotions or diseases of the emotional nature.
Of course.
And so we have to be very, very conscious of that and come up with strategies to clear ourselves on a daily basis of anything that has caused trauma or caused upset.
Yes.
Because if it stays there for any length of time, it's going to express itself in some form of disease or another.
Absolutely.
And that's what I have learned and I have observed over the last 40-some-odd years I've been doing this. And I can see a person that has had some sort of emotional trauma, and 2 to 3, 4 years later, it will be some sort of wild cancer running through their body.
Yep.
And I'm saying, oh, man, I can know that person for that length of time. I can remember the trauma they went through, and here it is.
Yep.
And then we've got to go through, revisit that, bring it to the forefront, and transform it.
Yes.
You could use the violet flame, that Saint Germain,
absolutely, yes,
to help transmute and
every
transform.
day, yeah.
But we just need to do it consciously with intent and assist the healing process. That would be for the lupus. That would be for cancers. That would be for even things of a diabetic nature.
Yeah.
And all of these degenerative disease processes have an emotional component that needs to be addressed. That's basically what I'm saying.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for pointing that out, because, you know, Dennis, for me as a psychologist, I'm always looking at the emotional cause of the energy blockage. And, you know, as an individual, it's hard for us to see it ourselves. We often have to have someone else.
You do need help, in most cases, to do that. And that's where, you know, talking it out, having some sort of therapy would be extremely beneficial.
Yes.
Healing process.
Yeah.
And it needs to be brought forward, and then we can go to the next level and understand, okay, well, we'll graduate from the quantum level up to actual physicality and see what's going on at that level.
Yeah.
And then we can start to understand the mechanism a whole lot better.
Yeah.
And whenever we're starting to have leaky gut syndrome, which leads to a number of major health challenges, all of it is based on the health of the upper and lower GI. And what people don't realize or know or understand is that our upper and lower GI has actual neurons and brain tissue there. In other words, that's another brain in our body. And that brain is running your immune function from there. And that's why we don't have to think about it. It knows and has the intelligence already resident within it to keep you healthy, wealthy, and wise. But what happens, like I said, we have these outside chemicals, outside thoughts and traumas, just the stress of life itself. It enters in and messes up the mechanism. And what we got to do is understand that's what's going on and come to the conclusion that we need help to restore and to remove these traumas and these poisons out of our system. And the way to do that, of course, is with good quality food. That's why I say 85% of your food should be of a quality that will detox the body. Fruits and vegetables. Fruits
organic,
are the best detoxers out there. And then vegetables just add high-quality nutrition to the body. And then once we understand that and we can get away from these box foods and these craft, Velveeta cheeses and things of that sort and all these other what I call science projects that they've come up in the lab and they're trying to feed it to us, that will be the beginning of our healing, because a lot of these overtly processed foods have a tendency to wear little tiny microscopic holes into our intestines and create leaky gut.
Yep.
And that is where we can get into the problem of the yeast getting into places that got no business being, and as a result, you have fatigue, you have loss of energy, you have decreased libido.
Yeah.
All the upset bowels, whether you have constipation or diarrhea, one of those, and all of it is based on the same basic challenge. Your gut is upset, and we've got to get it back on track. And we've got to treat it, know it, and understand what are the strategies for doing that. And that's what I'm going to be talking about this next Sunday whenever we give the workshop. So you want to give the address, and you want to be there and bring your notebook.
Absolutely. Your computer and your notebook, and take prolific notes. So
I'm going to just lay some heavy knowledge on your mind, body, and spirit.
Yes, so check out my Facebook page. I have a post there for Dennis Watts. That's Parthenia Onassis Grant on Facebook, and Divine Love Talk on Facebook. And you can also email me at divinelovetalk@gmail.com and get the information to come out on Sunday and join Dennis. And Dennis, you have a Facebook page as well. You have it posted on your Facebook page.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so Check us out on Facebook. It's Sunday from 3 to 7. You're not going to want to miss this because I know if you live in America with all the pollution and the bad food, you're dealing with one of those three issues, chronic fatigue, lack of energy, poor quality sleep, or some kind of weight issue. And sometimes it's not obesity. Dennis, I've seen a lot of people that are severely underweight, and the same issues I found in deficiencies and toxins that cause underweight are also associated with overweight. Have you found that to be the case, Dennis?
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't have to necessarily, because some people's metabolism is different. It's
overly
different,
fast,
and they process information in a totally different way than another person. And yes, that is definitely a possibility. And the other thing that I have found that is really interesting is what these GMOs are doing to our bodies once you have them for a few years, and they can actually rewrite your DNA.
Yes.
That is not a good thing.
That's
I almost had a major medical event back in 2011, and I was at a business meeting down in the Tustin area, and all I did was touch a orchid plant.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden I just felt really weird and faint.
Oh my goodness.
And I could not understand what was going on because I was feeling great one moment, and all of a sudden I'm feeling faint. And they called the ambulance and hauled me out.
Wow.
And the next thing I know, I hear the EMT, the medical technician said, his blood pressure is 40/43.
Oh, my God.
I was conscious enough to know, wait a minute, I'm getting ready to walk into the light. But that's crazy. What's that all about?
But wait a minute, that was from touching a genetically modified orchid, or so there were toxins on the orchid?
No, it wasn't necessarily genetically modified. I just touched an orchid, but I didn't know what was going on at that time. But
you were eating GMO food.
Oh, yeah, I have been eating GMO unknowingly for years.
Yes. All of us have. And that was a big part of the whole leaky gut issue with me, was I was thinking, there's certain foods that you can eat that they don't have to be organic. You know, like I knew to eat strawberries and grapes and stuff that were organic, but then I was thinking, a lemon, you don't have to worry about that because it has a protective shell. And then I realized everything I needed to eat needed to be organic. Otherwise, I got sick.
But let me tell you this, because I didn't know what was going on at the time.
Okay.
Me being a researcher, I wasn't going to let it go. Now, I got to the hospital, and, they were up here trying to find a vein. All my veins had collapsed.
Oh, my goodness.
Boy.
And they were having a hard time just poking and poking, trying to find some way to get fluids in me. And then I remembered I went to this class with Svetlana Smirnova that was teaching organ regeneration technology from Russia. And I said, I got to learn that because they were actually helping people regrow organs and to repair their body, understanding because they have discovered how the soul works and how the soul basically is creating our body moment to moment. So I remembered that knowledge while I was sitting there half dazed, and I said, let me use that technology right now. And then within an hour or two, I was able to walk up out of that hospital.
Wow.
Got in my car, and I started thinking deep. What happened? What happened?
Yeah.
And it took me about 5 or 6 months. And then I found some studies from France where they did long-term studies of GMOs.
Yeah.
And they found that these rats were getting these gigantic cystic lesions on their body. And I said, whoa, what in the world? And then I noticed right at the time I had this issue, I had a giant cystic lesion on my back, just like the rat.
Oh, my.
Then I concluded, okay, I have genetic disruption syndrome.
Wow.
Genetic disruption.
From genetically modified organisms.
And that's because I have been eating unknowingly a lot of GMOs, and I had to become hyper vigilant.
Wow, Dennis, I'm so sorry.
It turns out I loved Orville Rickenbacker's popcorn. I like to adopt it myself and make it in myself, but it turns out it's GMO.
Okay, Dennis, we have to go to commercial break. I'm enjoying your information so much, but we have to go to commercial break. You're listening to Divine Love Talk with Dennis Watts. He's going to be joining us Sunday from 3 to 7. Email us at divinelovetalk@gmail if you want to come out and see him. And I have Janet Austin Jackson in studio. We'll be back wrapping this up after commercial break. There was
Dr. Parthenia.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California for our sizzling party savings. Book your wedding event or reception, your birthday bash, or a special event of any kind and celebrate at Angelo's and Vinci's. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's and celebrate in one of our many festive banquet rooms. It's an incredible fun event you will never forget. Food, music, and lots of fun. Call for the details, and don't forget our daily lunch and dinners, plus our Sunday champagne brunch. Just $14.95. Minestrone soup, sausage and peppers, pastas, chicken dishes, salads, scones, and muffins. Plus so much more. A chocolate fondue fountain, Zeppelis, cannolis, fresh fruit, champagne, and Junior will be waiting to make the omelet of your choice from our omelet bar. Angelo's and Vinci's has been voted on the Orange County Hot List as one of the top 5 Italian restaurants for the past 6 years. And don't forget our award-winning pizzas. Thin or thick, they're yummy. It's all at Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022. 714-879-4022.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson. Attention men who've taken Androgel or any other testosterone therapy products. Androgel or other low-T products have been linked to heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, even death. Scientific studies indicate that the use of testosterone therapy products may double a man's risk of heart attack. If you or a loved one took Androgel or a testosterone therapy product and suffered from a heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, or any other cardiac event, you might be entitled to financial compensation. You have rights, and you need to let us fight for your rights. And you pay no fees unless we win. So call the tort attorneys right now. 800-557-7921. 800-557-7921. That's 800-557-7921. Cases may be referred to participating law firms in your jurisdiction.
Wrapping this up on CRN, I'm Dr. Parthenia Grant with Divine Love Talk. Dennis, Janet wanted to say something to you right quick.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it's so refreshing hearing you talk about the whole person rather than just the physical part that you can do. Because I was telling Dr. Grant that I had, I still have Candida. And for a person, a layman, trying to figure this out, you could spend a lot of money going to herbalists who...
A lot of time.
Yeah, a lot of time, and you still are confused because the books are conflicting.
Yes.
So, but I believe in the
holistic,
holistic and the stress management. So thank you so much for talking.
So, Dennis, thank you so much for joining us, and we're going to have the complete lecture on Sunday. Dennis, I have Jose Munoz, who we finally got him patched in, and he was supposed to be in at the beginning of the hour, but I wanted to thank you so much for everything that you've shared. And, Jose, I'm turning this over to you very quickly. If you could give us the glyph for today and Janet's reading.
Yay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Gaddis. Thank
Okay.
you, creator and creators, for this opportunity. Today's day is the second day of Cat Can. That is the lizards, those lizards that have been traveling through time and space, and they settle themselves in the Middle Earth. This is the day to communicate with them. There's a lot of people in the world that do this on a daily basis, and I wanted to say this out loud. It is the best day to communicate with the intraterrestrial, underground, intergalactic time and space travelers.
Okay. And you did the write up on Janet for her reading.
Yes, Sister Janet, thank you for doing your masterful work as a master adapter. This is what we call the tribe that you belong to. And these are the leaders of the new movements in the new world, especially in the female nation. And along with those citizens of the shining path, the citizens of the new world, it is your blessing and your duty to help us deliver the entire humanity into a new world of love, peace, and harmony, not just world peace, but intergalactic peace with the rest of the cosmos. I see here in your chart that you have all the wisdoms of the Jaguar, the wisdoms of the night. I see here that it is an insult to try to lie to you, because you see right through the lies, you see right through the darkness. And it is a blessing that you rule the night, you thrive, and you work at your best peak of performance. You actually do thrive after hours. So from 3, if your day starts at 3 p.m. and ends after hours, that is the best way to successfully and more efficiently help us bring humanity into the new world of love, peace, and harmony.
All right. Well, that's Jose Munoz, who is the timekeeper for the new Hopi Tibetan Mayan calendar. Thank you for joining us, Jose. Thank you, Dennis Watts. And Janet, now I know why you and I were supposed to get together, because I am also a citizen of the new world and on the shining path and a master adapter.
Yes, that's why we met.
That was why we met. We couldn't figure it out until just now. So, Jose, thank you so much for that.
Jose.
And thank all of you for joining us, and come out and meet Dennis Watts. Boy, is he a powerhouse of information and solutions and knowledge. Send us an email to divinelovetalk@gmail.com, or check us out on Facebook. Parthenia Onassis Grant, or Divine Love Talk Facebook, and Dennis Watts on Facebook. We will be back next week with more of Divine Love Talk.
Because that was your theme. Are you tired of hearing your favorite talk radio show sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high-definition digital sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio's 6 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all of your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before in CRN HD. The difference is amazing. Catch your favorite political hosts like Dennis Prager, Tom Hartman, Barry Farber, and so many more. Entertainment and lifestyle programming like The Robert Conrad Show, The What's Cooking Show, and The What's Cooking on Wine Show, all in true CRN HD audio. Sports, business, travel, food, wine, politics, there is something for everyone, and it's all available in CRN High Definition Sound. Log on to www.crntalk for listings and information on all your favorite shows. That's www.crntalk.com.
The radio channel